Welcome back to my channel, everybody. It's been a really long time since I've recorded a video, and I kind of just wanted to do this like kind of impromptu, kind of just catch up with me, I guess. Um, it's been, I think, about 2 years since I've created a YouTube video, and I want to make it just really chill, nothing crazy, just kind of catching you up on what's been going on and a little bit of my journey. And I'm going to start creating a bit more content around family constellations. And we'll get to that. I have my notes here because I don't want to get too sidetracked. So I am currently in Uruguay. Obviously, the background and everything probably looks a little bit different. I've been here for about 4.5 months, something like that. I'll be here for a little bit longer. And after that, not sure what's going to go on. But um, yeah, things are good. Things are really good. Going through some of my own healing, as always. I'll try to get into specific videos around that. I talk a lot about that in the community. I'll make sure I kind of like include that link here. And I always say to everybody, like, I'm on this journey of healing alongside you. It's not that we're all on our own personal journey, right? So, I try to be as transparent and open. I think my community is a little bit smaller, so it feels a little bit like easier to share sometimes. But the idea here is like, I want to open up with you guys and kind of share what's going on and what methods and what things have helped me. So since we last talked, obviously, I'm in Uruguay at the moment. We've paused the podcast with my sister Lucia just because I was really busy with my certification, my family constellation certification. So I kind of just paused it for a bit, and I'd want to pick it back up, but I want to do it in the right way. And Lou and I have been just kind of finding how to do that. We still, like I said, we still have the community. We're still, going ahead with that. We do monthly videos together and our own individual content monthly as well. So that's part of the package. Um, it's something we both really enjoy and we still do, and we're going to continue to do for sure. The podcast was a lot of work, and hence why we kind of paused it at the time that we did. But it's still there. The content's still there. You can still listen to the episodes, and obviously, there's tons of really interesting information. We did post the 2025 prediction episode, so that's there if you want to check it out. And um, yeah, there's obviously older content about Akashic Records. I talk about family constellations in some of the last episodes, so check that out as well if you're interested, and some of my own healing that I've done. And my journey with the certification was about 2 years. It was intense, if that's even like the right word for it. It was, yeah, it was intense, but a lot of my own healing came through getting the certification. So I'm obviously still offering Akashic record readings. That's what I most do and what I obviously always love and always like fall back on. And I feel like I still bring so much value to people with the readings. And that'll continue to go on. Like, I know that's not going to end. I enjoy doing readings for others, and it's something that really fulfills me. And I definitely feel like it helps people. I've added on family constellations as a service, and I do workshops every now and then as well. So if you want to stay kind of connected to that, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. I'll include that link in the show notes or descriptions. And yeah, it's been really interesting to help people through a new kind of tool, a new therapeutic tool. I'm going to do a whole new episode on the podcast for sure, just about family constellations and my experience with the certification and becoming a family constellation therapist. But I think more importantly, I'm just going to do an episode here, or I say episode, but it's not really episode. I'll do a video here explaining what family constellations, like what the tool is really, how it can help, what kind of things you can work through. So I'll do a whole dedicated video on that. So if there are any questions that you have around like family constellations, feel free to put it in the comments. I can include those in the next video. And I'll definitely answer questions that I've received through other people or that I get when I do a session with somebody. And I think that'll be really helpful as like just a resource, even if you don't work with me, I think it's still going to be useful for anybody that's going down this kind of road of healing and trying to find solutions to certain things. And it's helped me with so much. Like it's helped me with physical symptoms, with grief, transitioning and making decisions and feeling lighter just in general, right? So I'll definitely, I'm hoping that'll be the video after this one. And maybe I'll even turn that into a podcast episode. Who knows? That might be useful. Repurposing things instead of recreating them, especially if the information's helpful, right? And that's what this YouTube channel is all about. Like I want this YouTube channel to be a place where people can use this as a resource, where you can ask questions and I can answer them, where you can kind of just bring forward your concerns and I can like create little videos even just to answer your questions. And I know it's sometimes hard finding somebody to respond to certain things. And um, I like this format. I think, YouTube is probably my favorite social media platform, and it's a place that I gravitate towards. And a lot of people. I've met a lot of you on here through reading, so it feels good. So one of the tools I'm offering now is Family Constellation. So I'm helping people through that, and that has been a whole journey of trusting again. I always talk about how it was really hard for me to connect to my own Akashic records, right? And I always think like, oh boy, it was like a journey of self-love, a journey of feeling worthy. And even when I started reading for others, and I found it a lot easier reading for others, it was still this whole thing of continually trusting and allowing the messages to come in. Like it's so different now. Like this journey I've been on for years now has been not only rewarding, obviously, because I can connect to you and help you, but I think there's also this sense of the growth that I've had and everything that's happened in this path of, going down this spiritual path for myself and helping others through that as well. But I feel like Family Constellations has been like almost like an upgrade. Being able to facilitate that for people, be it through a workshop or one-on-one. I offer one-on-one sessions on Zoom. All of my stuff is on Zoom. Um, has been incredible, and seeing people's feedback and how things have shifted for them, how different they feel, just only kind of confirms this feeling I had years and years ago. I was like, I need to study this. I didn't believe that I was worthy of it. And then I was like, okay, there's a reason. And now one of the updates I wanted to give you all is September 2025, I'm going to travel to Spain to study family constellation, like a family constellation modality with horses. Um, Also, I hadn't tried it and I signed up for it. I was like, I know I need to do this. I don't know why. Something's calling me. And finally, the person that helped put me on this path, I connected with her. And it's just insane, like the similarities we have between each other and how because she's also an Akashic Record Reader. She does family constellations with horses. Um, and just incredible this path and how we met and just feeling almost like validated in a lot of things by how she channels and things that how she how she just kind of just exudes this energy. It kind of helps me see myself. I see myself through her in some way. It's interesting. I guess everybody's a mirror, as they say, right? But I'm studying this modality in September, and from probably October around there, I'll try to do some of that here in Uruguay. But the idea is to be able to bring that to other places. So it was such an amazing, I'll definitely make a video kind of explaining this modality with horses because it exceeded any expectation I had of I didn't even know how it was going to work. I was like, are you going to be there with the horses? Like I knew kind of what I wanted to constellate. That was pretty clear for me, but um I brought my parents. They each did their own constellation. So it was like a day of moving energy and shifting, like the three of us, even though my sister wasn't there. I'm sure, any work we do in family constellations helps the entire family system. So that was wonderful, and I'm definitely going to do a whole video, hopefully this month if I can, just sharing my experience and how how wonderful it was and how validating it was, and just the energy of the horses and being in nature, and how it has like an extra special, like, it kind of like shifts energy in a very different way than it would on Zoom. They're both amazing. They're just different, you know? So yeah, I feel so lucky that I was listening to my intuition and that I signed up for this course. It's with the same teacher that she studied with. So I'm sure that this friend, I feel like she's a friend now. She'll support me with any questions I have through that. But another update that I wanted to also share here is that I've been working on a couple of programs. Um, I've had to kind of rethink things a little bit in the last year just because I've been so busy with obviously some of the spiritual work and helping people, but also I think in my other work that I do, because I do a lot of other like more 3D work, right? Which I love. I love being in both worlds. But this family constellation therapy, this tool has helped me move things in my family system. And I kind of want to make this something that people can work on their own. I always like to empower people and help them find their way through things. And a lot of my own healing has come through that, where I'd go to therapy, or I would, get an Akashic record reading and then bring that in and figure out intuitively and through journaling and through being introspective and to really questioning things, to figuring out what's going on inside of me. I'm not saying I get it perfect that way, but I think it can move a lot in our healing journey. And it could be a really huge support in working through specific things, right? So the programs I'm creating will be like 8 modules, like eight. You can do it in 8 weeks. You can extend it, right? The idea is that you'll have specific amount of things to do each week that you can extend. Like I said, you can do it a lot slower. There's no like timeline to it. You'll have access to it. The idea here is that the first program is the mother wound. The second program is the father wound, and healing things through those wounds, which we can open up things in so many ways, right? I'll probably do videos on the mother wound and father wound so you guys can kind of understand what they're each about, and things that we could see show up in our life, or things that can feel blocked or like they don't move, right? Because we have specific wounding and it can look so different for everybody. But the idea is that these programs will be self-paced. You'll have videos, you'll have PDFs, you'll have journal prompts, you'll have meditations, you'll have all of that kind of supporting you and helping you work through things. And then obviously, if you feel like you need a constellation, I'm here to support that. But the idea is that we're going to work through it in the program. At least it'll be a way that you can, in the very least, right? Because I think it's going to be a lot deeper than that from what I'm channeling. But in the very least, it will be a really, really good way of you identifying things and starting to move energy and feeling and connecting, so that you can even work through it with whatever, tools, therapeutic tools that you're using, while you're doing that. And I always encourage people, like, even if you do a constellation, feel supported, like do therapy, do counseling, get coaching. It could be through any method that you feel supported. It could be through a friend, right? But I think sometimes talking through things can be really, really, really helpful. And I'm really excited about those programs. I'm hoping to get those out in the next 4 to 6 months. They've been a little delayed because I've been in this transition of the move and adapting not only myself, but Sandy, my rescue. And that was a little tough at the beginning, and even just the transition of getting her here to Uruguay. So yeah, I think 2025 has been a crazy year. And it's not only for myself, but I can feel it for everybody that I speak to, that I connect with on a daily basis. And it's really for some of us, forcing us to change if we're not listening, if we're not paying attention, to listen to our bodies, to listen to our intuition, to make the changes that we've been holding back from. And for me, it really, this has kind of hit me in the last week of slowing down. And I think that's also the reason why I'm sitting here in front of you all, um, making time for this. Because I think when we busy ourselves too much, we lose our focus. We lose our alignment of certain things and what we need to be focusing on in the sense of our greater or higher good. So it's never to beat ourselves up or to judge ourselves. It's more to trust the path and to really listen to ourselves and to course correct. I always think it's like the sense of like, okay, I was off my path a little bit, or this wasn't working out and I kept trying to force it. And it can look very different for everybody, but for me, it definitely is a sense of getting more centered, slowing down, being able to channel this program that I feel for whatever reason in my intuition is telling me that's going to help a lot of people. And hoping that that really, that I can trust myself enough for that information to come through. So that's about it. I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, I'm still doing all the flower essences. I'm actually in the process of creating my own flower essence for myself and getting my shop online. I'm in this sense of figuring out how I'm going to offer that to most of you that are in the United States or around the world. And I think the most important thing for me, like now with these realizations I've had, is like enjoying the journey, like not trying to fast forward or fast track anything. Is for things to have their own timing, for myself, obviously, to trust my timing and when I need to do things, and honoring myself and everybody, obviously, in this process. So yeah, the next video I will have on my channel will definitely be about family constellations because I've been talking about making a video for so long. It's way overdue. And I know it's a tool that a lot of you have never heard of because when I speak to you guys in readings or on social media, you're like, what's that? And for me, it's been a tool that it's been incredible. It's been so helpful. I'll include a link to a podcast that we did with a family constellator named Marina Toledo. She's in Toronto, I believe. The last I know of her, she was still in Canada. So she's from Spain, but she lives in Canada and she teaches, she has an institute, so she teaches this modality, this family constellations. Highly recommend her, not only as a constellator, of course, but as a teacher. And we did an interview with her, and she has a really beautiful meditation visualization at the end that I would highly recommend you guys check out. And obviously, she offers that service. I offer that service, and there's a lot of people that offer this service and are doing really, really good work. And it's something, as I did with the Akashic Records, I want to bring more awareness to this tool and how amazing it can be and how helpful it is. And bring really practical information as well to understand it in a way that's not, you know, that's easy to digest, like I always say, that really makes sense, that it's energetic, right? It's soul healing and it shifts things in a big way. So I'll get more into that. If there's any questions you have about family constellations or even the Akashic Records, put it in the comments. I'll make sure to look at it and to put it as kind of like a possible video or things that I can do a little Q&A with and answer questions. So yeah, it's really good to be back. I've been talking about making a video for so long, it feels almost surreal. And I'm just kind of not even editing this. I'm just going to put it in. It's going to be organic and it feels good not to over edit or overthink things. And I'm kind of in that season of my life that I just want to flow. So yeah, I'm glad to be back, and you guys can check out my services. You can check out tons of information and blog posts and stuff on my website, my Instagram. I'll include all those links. And yeah, hopefully you're all doing well. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.